What's up, everybody? I'm back, man. Check this out. Woo-wee. Hey, it's getting really active in the YouTube yada. You know what I mean? And I joke about this when I say this, people. You know what I mean? Like I said, this is entertainment. To me, it's therapeutic. But let's not forget what my channel consists of. My channel is a fitness channel with the twist, people. In today's twist, I have to elaborate on Mr. Cali Legends Media. Ooh-wee. I'm telling you, he's getting boo-bopped. He's getting he's getting boo-bopped from a whole different race. 16 to life, chill. I think that's his name. I used to watch him at one time before. But then, like I said, I did that with a lot of people. I started viewing their channel, and they start off a certain way, and they end up in a different lane, So sometimes that lane isn't for me, So I just tend to take that off ramp and just take my own route. You feel me? But anyways, I'm not saying he's a bad person or anything like that. And it is what it is. Let me get my camera zoomed in right here. Got to be looking proper for you guys, right? You know what I'm saying? Just don't listen to this cat right here, man. I like to get my clown on. Well, anyways, people, it's gonna be my second video that I dropped today. That's not common for me to do something like that, but Mr. Cali Legends Media is a hot commodity right now. Okay, so someone was asking me what's a good way to go about weight loss. Okay, so I'm gonna elaborate a little bit on that before I go to the Cali Legends Media and 16 to Life, Mr. Chill. There's so many different diets that you could do. There's so many different ways that you could achieve weight loss. Okay, so with me, weight loss is achieved by many different ways. A very good way is by doing keto with intermittent fasting. If you tend to fast, your body will recycle and use protein and turn it into new amino acids. This process is one of the key ways that ketogenic diets works, to help you lose the weight. So if you choose to run a keto diet, I'd recommend eating high quality ingredients, people. I'd recommend using grass-fed organic meats and vegetables whenever possible. Okay, this is because these foods, they're nutrient dense, and what they will help you do, they'll keep you satisfied. They'll keep that they'll keep you feeling full, and it will keep you satisfied until your next meal. That way you don't find yourself grazing in between meals, and that's what we say is snacking. Okay, so excuse me. I would also encourage doing that with whichever diet that you decide to incorporate to lose your weight. Eating nutrient dense foods is very beneficial. Like I said, your appetite will be satisfied, and it just makes it more manageable. Let's just put it that way. But trust and believe, I did this from experience, man. You know what I mean? Because these people that try to do these prolonged fastings, they end up crashing because they don't know how to do it the correct way. You know what I mean? You have to feed your body correct in order to do a proper fast. And like I said, if you need help with this, hit me up. Shoot me a DM, high power fitness, high_power_fitness_. Or you could just straight up shoot me an email. Make it easier for all of us. highpowerfitness@yahoo.com, baby. Getting a little tongue twisted here because I'm kind of in a hurry. I have a very busy day. I have long days, man. Like I said, my morning starts at 2:00 in the morning on a daily, even on my days off. So technically I don't really have no days off. So yeah, like if you want to get started on your fitness journey, hit me up, man. I'll get you started. We could get you going on a 3-month program. And like I said in my last video, I have a couple deals going on. If you sign up with a partner, you'll get a couple months free. If you sign up solo bolo, you could get a 20% discount off of the price of the program, whichever program you choose to sign on for. You know what I mean? I got, lose 30 pounds in 90 days. I got getting ripped and fit. And I got the dialed in program. I have 3 different programs. At the end of the day, it's entirely up to you what you want to sign up for. But I will be honest and open with you. If I see that you really don't require an extended program, I will just recommend that you do sign up for a 3-month program. That way you could obtain the tools and the knowledge that it takes to apply to a daily lifestyle. You know, it's simple. You really don't need me after a 3-month program, and that's for anybody. The only time you will ever need to sign up for my program again is if you want to take it to the next level, or you just want to be part of my team, you know, because I do have a team of elite members that's been with me for a while, you know. We're always in communication with each other, and we're always sharing tips and advices. You know, it's kind of like a support group. You know what I mean? It's our own personal community. It's good, and I have all walks of life from there. I have from white collar workers to the blue collar workers, baby. I have from professionals to you know, correctionals. Let's just put it that way, straight up. I really do, people. You know what I mean? My program is non-biased, man. Everybody's welcome, and it's just like my channel. My channel is non-biased as well. You know, I don't care who you are or what you identify as. You know what I mean? As long as you come with respect, you get respect. Now, with that being said, people, Mr. Cali Legends Media, people are just like, they insist on pushing the issue about the word that he used, okay? Chill from 16 to Life, he broke it down. He really took that video of, well, more than one video that Cali Legends put up, and if you sit there and listen through the whole thing, yes, you would see a lot of contradictions, but that's just the way social media works. You know what I mean? Sometimes we'll accidentally say things out there that weren't supposed to be put out there. Like, I'm gonna give you an example with myself. I don't edit or take out anything. You know what I mean? It is what it is. You know, I'm just very cautious on throwing, you know, a rock from in a glass house. You know, so that's why I speak the way I speak. You know what I mean? Because sometimes some people get a little bit too comfortable in the verbiage that they choose to use, and they don't realize that they're speaking to an open audience other than what they're usually used to speaking to around them, their close immediate circle. You know what I mean? There's certain words that me and my homies will use that we're not going to use out in public. You feel me? Because it's not for everybody's ear to hear. And Mr. 16 to Life, chill, man. He was heated to a certain extent, but he, you know, I got to give him his props too. You know what I mean? He was pretty cool, calm, and collective about it, and he broke it down, you know, into detail about everything what Cali Legends Media spoke on. You know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day, I'm not here to pick sides. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if circumstances were different, obvious, come on now, you already know what side I'm gonna have to roll with, baby. You know, that's just the rules of the engagement. That's just the way it is. But, you know, out here in this YouTube yada stuff, I try to stay away from that. You know, I know you guys are probably gonna say, well, why are you talking about it right now? Well, gee, well, because, you know, it's entertainment, gee, you know what I mean? And I'm just trying to bring some light to this shade of gray right here, that because they're attacking the homie. You know, yeah, I understand what he said was wrong, but at the end of the day, you know, we're only human. We all fuck up and make mistakes. And if you want to be realistic about shit, man, everybody is fucking racist to a certain extent. You know what I mean? Me being a vallero, and when I'm going down to go get me some food from a certain area, and there's these individuals that don't drive right away, in my mind, what comes to my vision is, you already know. Low key, that's being racist. You know what I mean? I'm saying that they don't know how to drive. But nowadays, now that I look at it, you know what I mean? Coming from a professional's driver's view, there's a lot of people out there that don't know how to drive. Back in the day, I would always say it was the Asians, but no, you know, hey, you got some of the best drivers that are Asians out there. They're pretty badass, man. You see them guys be doing them drifting and all that shit in their little cars and all their little rice rockets. Badass. But anyways, that's here nor there. You know what I mean? Yes, I know I jumped the subject. I wish I could do like, well, I know I can, but I'm not going to get into this fucking content creating the way a lot of these other individuals do. Sit inside my house behind the computer, editing and doing all this other stuff, and you know, breaking down everybody's videos. That's cool, you know what I mean? What's good for the goose isn't always good for the gander, you know what I'm saying? And with me, I'm just going by the shit that I heard. Chill voiced his opinion, and there was nothing wrong with that man voicing his opinion. You know, I could see where Chill's coming from 100%, you know what I mean? And then I could see what happened with Cali Legends Media as well. You know, they do use that word, not just them in particular, but throughout that system in the county, that word was used very freely. That word, I'm not even going to use it either. You know what I mean? Because I don't use it to this day. I don't use it. You know what I mean? I've always addressed the brothers as brothers. You know what I mean? Um, even when I had that hatred towards them, I wouldn't call them out their name. You know what I mean? Because I'm not gonna dish out what I don't want dished to me. You feel me? Because if you're gonna throw a punch, you got to be able to take a punch. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I went through wars with them. It was a whole different war than Cali Legends Media went through because like I said, Cali Legends Media was up there in that Maravilla module. So he was fighting a whole different war. And yeah, no, I know some of you guys try to say that's a PC module. That's not no PC module. It's a no-brainer. You know what I mean? You might as well say that the 1750 was a PC module. They had actual PCs up there. Keepaways. That doesn't mean it's a PC module. Some heavy hitters resided up there. It's a foolish thought on a lot of people's behalves. But I would never say that because the homies were just had their own module. It was like us with the gang module. You know what I mean? Not all of us went to the gang module. Some of us did. And anybody that went to that gang module, what the reglas were. What time it was when we went to court. With mandatory things. You know what I'm saying? If you know, you know. I'm not gonna say anymore. So that right there in itself should let the real ones know that if there's any real ones out here viewing this, the mandatory thing to do when we went to court, you already know. It is what it is. So anyways, yeah, so 16 to life, Mr. Chill, man. He was low-key heated, but he addressed the situation and he broke down in details different videos that Cali Legends Media. And yeah, I've seen it. I've seen the change from Cali Legends from when he first started speaking on certain things to where he's at today. It's natural. You can't always run that same path. And the reason is, because sometimes you're going to be taking a course and then there's going to be some type of hazard that intervenes with the course that you're taking. So now you're forced to take a different route. Okay, I'm trying to put this in layman's perspectives, people that don't really pick up what I'm putting down. So you find a different avenue. You know what I mean? And sometimes when you take that different avenue, it could actually be worse than taking that actual route that you were originally on, even though it had hazards there. At least you were aware of those hazards. This new route that you've taken, they're full of new surprises, twists and turns. And everybody here on YouTube has contradicted themselves to a certain extent. You know what I mean? Hey, I admit to it. I've done it myself. You know what I'm saying? But for the next man to go pointing fucking fingers at the next man, you know how fucking childish that is, man. Oh, he did this, they did that, you did this. Oh, but you guys do this. Who gives a fuck? Learn to coexist the way we did behind them fucking walls, and we would be unstoppable. You know what I mean? You individuals that are out here still trying to stir shit up, that's not cool. You know what I'm saying? For the brothers that are riled up right now because what was said out there, and we all know this stemmed from a different podcast, they have every right to. Okay? No one can say that they can't argue and contest what went on. We could only voice our opinions as a solo writer. Let's just put it that way. We can't speak for other homies on how they feel and their beliefs behind whatever words that they put out here on social media. Even though there is supposed raza that is always trying to bash raza. It's crazy, man. You know what I mean? And I really want to say these people's names, but you guys already know. And these individuals, the ones that are always constantly bashing the homies out here, they paroled from the SMY yards, which in my eyes, I don't really give a fuck what the reason is that you paroled from over there. You're no good. Do I care to look into why you went to that SMI yard? No, I don't really give a fuck. It doesn't matter to me. Because everything that you've done in the past no longer, you know, holds weight behind it anymore. You know what I mean? Yeah, you know, but there is a lot of people that were done dirty and pencil whipped, this and that. But like I said, you're still no good. You know what I'm saying? Well, anyways, I rambled on a whole lot. And like I said, I like Chill. He's doing his thing. The only part I don't like about his little scrawny voice is when he does the yard down stuff. You know what I mean? That just sounds that weird. He need to put a little bit more bass in that voice. Even this essay got more bass than that. Can't take that yard down serious from him. But it is what it is. You know, it's a character that he created. It's all good. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, once again, Cali Legends Media, my boy, just keep doing your thing, homie. I see a lot of this stuff is starting to get to you, Kana. Don't let it get to you. Your own audience will turn on you, carnal. You know what I mean? Just give you the heads up. Even though I really don't have to, my boy, because you're pretty fucking smart when it comes to that. You've sat on the sidelines and viewed the way the audience works out there, homie. A lot of snakes, fakes, and frauds out there. I even see motherfuckers out there from a whole different demographic that talk down upon me, but I see them using my vernacular now. It's like, just keep it real. Be authentic. Be yourself, baby. You know what I mean? You ain't seeing me out here trying to be like nobody else. I'm just being my motherfucking self. And just a word to the wise man. Maybe you youngsters will open up your eyes. For those of you that are trying to straight up act like the brothers, there it is there. You see what I'm saying? Them words that you're using and all that, I don't agree with them. I'm not going to be out there fucking chasing people around to fucking, you know, discipline them because they're using certain words. That's on them. But I tell you one thing, that if any of my little homies ever say that, I'll let them know how I feel. You know, if you're going to be conversing with me, don't leave that word out, homie. I don't get down like that. So far, I haven't ran into any of my little homies that do that. I hear the little Edgar's doing it like that. Sometimes I question, like, if I don't look, I think that they were brothers. But then I know they're not brothers because we're in my hood. Or we're in an area where there really ain't no brothers out there. Brothers or sisters, you know what I mean? But you hear these individuals, man, and like I said, if I was a blind man, I would actually think that they were either brothers or sisters. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. It is what it is, man. The YouTube yarda is getting activo. It's getting out of hand, getting foolish. But at the end of the day, man, we're all people. You know what I mean? We all make mistakes. Learn to forgive and forget, man. You know, the more light you bring to this topic right here, the more it's just gonna keep pushing out here on social media. And that's as far as I think it's gonna go. It's just gonna be fucking shit that people run and keep on running on for clout. You know what I mean? But like I said in my last video, there may be a couple individuals that may act on it, but once they see when the shit hits the fan and the shit gets real, they're gonna regret doing what they did, because they're gonna end up either washed up or end up being hurt. You know what I mean? That goes for all races. You know what I mean? Anybody that wants to participate in this bullshit fucking guerra right here on YouTube, it's just for the birds, man. You know what I mean? That being said, man, I'm gonna bring this video to an end. It's my first time ever doing the double drop, doing the double Dutch buzz, baby. Hey, so anyways, man, if you guys want to get started in that fitness journey, hit me up, highpowerfitness@yahoo.com, or just go to my Instagram and leave me a message there. Shoot me a DM, mention something about fitness or nutrition, and I got you. My Instagram is highpowerfitness, high_power_fitness_. Now, with that being said, 10,000 subscribers, I will start doing lives. Make sure you share this video, hit the hype button if it's available, and put your notification bell and all. Now get up and get yours.